Welcome to the Natural Health Show with one of New England's leading holistic specialists, Mark Mincola. Call Mark at 617-822-1969 on 96.9 Boston Talks.
Greetings and welcome home, Natural Health Nation. Great to be with you here on 96.9 Boston Talks. Of course, we are here to answer your questions regarding natural health issues, vitamins, dieting, etc. And our phone numbers here in Boston and New England, 617-822-1969. Verizon Wireless, pound 96.9. And Catherine Foley, welcome.
Hi, good evening.
Great to see you. How's your holiday season going?
It's going well, thank you.
It's a little dangerous out there these days.
It's quite hectic on the road, for sure.
So we're going to talk a little bit about sugar this evening.
Mm-hmm. It is the season. Lots of holiday cookies.
You know, astounding information, of course, with regards to what's happening these days with processed foods and sugars in particular. 3.1 million people around the world are dying unnecessarily because of high blood sugar. And, of course, you know, the consumption of sugar is really dramatically higher than it was, you know, even a short 20 years ago. Over the last 20 years, sugar consumption in the U.S. alone has increased from 26 to about 170 pounds of sugar a year. It's amazing.
Right, and, you know, as we've often talked about, is that sugar is showing up in items that you don't expect it to be in. You can find it in tomato sauce and, you know, those savory type items that you wouldn't expect to find sugar. It's in there, so people are not necessarily counting that as sugar intake.
It's been estimated that as much as 73% of our sugar consumption is from hidden sources.
Right, absolutely.
And there's so many different names for sugar, of course, that people are not used to identifying with.
I know. It comes to mind high fructose corn syrup. And
that's the first one that comes to mind, unfortunately.
You've spoken a great deal about that. And, you know, in the last year, you and I have seen in popular media the corn syrup lobbyists getting out there and trying to, you know, change the opinion about high fructose corn syrup, that it's not necessarily that bad for you. So, you know, you see the impact of the education that you're doing.
Absolutely. And of course, you know, you and I know all too well that the direct corollary between high processed sugar consumption and so many diseases, of course, you know, diabetes, type 2 onset, adult onset diabetes, right at the top of that list. But we certainly also want to remind folks that there are a number of diseases, conditions, and illnesses correlated with high sugar consumption. One of them, of course, cancer.
Right, absolutely.
You know, when you think about the remarkable work, 41 years of research, two-time Nobel Prize winner, Dr. Otto Warburg, who went on to say that the primary cause of cancer is the fermentation of sugar in the body.
Right, absolutely. And when you look at the metabolism of cancer cells, we see these cancer cells as high metabolizers. So their need for basic things like glucose is accelerated or greater than normal cells. So they look for that in your diet.
But again, you know, when you think about the fact that in just 2 decades, thank you, John, in just 2 decades, not a long time, 20